Hey all, welcome back again. Today we are going to discuss how to create an operator dynamically. Okay, so I'm using one case type here. So I'll be giving an end user portal to the to an end user. So he will go there and he will click on create operator case type and provides his username, password, and also the user ID. And once he submits, the operator would be successfully created in the Pega application. So that is what we are going to do it. So to do that, we need to use one OOTB activity here. So let's see one OOTB activity which is called as create operator. Can we search for that create operator? Yes, create operator. So if you search for that, so if you see there is an OOTB activity which is present in data-admin-operator-id. So let's select this, and we have to customize few things in this particular activity. So we have to save as this into our rule set. So I am going to save as this into my rule set. Yeah, save as. So I cannot use the same label because it is in a final one, so I have to change the label as create new operator. Any label it is fine, but I'm going with create new operator. And also I'm changing the applies to class because I have to call this activity in my thing. Let it be create new operator only. Create new operator only. Yes, so you can give anywhere anything, but let it be like this. So we will be clicking on create and open. Yeah. So as I have already created this one, so it is available with me. So go to App Explorer, expand create operator. So nowadays there is no need of in 8.6 there is no need of clicking on the create operator, on these rule categories. If you click on the right hand side, like on the empty space of that particular rule category, it automatically gets expanded. Okay, can you see now? Here it is getting expanded. So this is the create operator which we created. So I have to do few modifications here. So what are those modifications? So first let's see what is there in my already given OOTB rule. So let's open that create operator which is already there, activity. Yeah. So in this there is something called as parameters tab. So if you see parameters tab, there is organization name, division name, unit name, user ID, password, access group, and username also. So these all names we have to provide to this activity as parameters. So we are going to provide this. So to provide this, what I do is I will not ask the end user to provide what is the organization name, what is the division name, what is the unit name, or what is the access group. I don't ask the end user to provide this because end user doesn't know what and which organization we have to create, and he doesn't know whether that organization name is present in my application or not. So I hard code those values. So as I'm hard coding those values, I don't require that org name, div name, and access group. So I'm going to delete them. So when I delete it, in my create new operator, which is saved as, if you see my parameters, you can see all of them have deleted. So you have something called as user ID, password, and username. Okay, so I even deleted the parameters which are error messages, so I'm not going to use them. Only 3 parameters I'm using. With these 3 parameters I'm going to create. So where should I add, or where should I hard code it? So to hard code it, you can see in the second step there is something called as property set. If you expand that property set, you can see there, right, PY organization as. So in my application I have an application which is created under EPFO, which is having an organization as EPFO, and my application name is grievance. If you see there, my application name is grievance. So I am using the same application for creating the operator. So for that, my PY organization is EPFO and division is div, organization unit is unit, but user identifier is given by end user, so that's why I'm using parameter here, param.userid as is, and access group I'm again hard coding it as grievance :dev, and rest of them are as is. I'm not touching them anything there. So let's collapse this second step. Basically, if you look into the previous create operator already available OTB activity, in that steps you see there is 8th step and 7th step, which is talking about errors here. So errors, whenever something, I mean, it will show the parameter error. Whenever it is error occurred, then this particular show property would be executing. In the same way, another eighth step is also there, which is show property. So I'm not going to use both of them. So I'll be, instead of showing show property over there, I'll simply delete or simply change that. So I'm not going to use that. I'm commenting those two steps. So actually I was using show stream and all those things, but not necessary. So I'll be going to comment them, which I don't require at all. So I'm not going to send any properties to the content or to the browser, so nothing I'm sending, so I'm just saving them. So save it. So that's my create new operator created under one of the case life cycle, in one of the case type. So my case type name is create operator. So now activity is created. Now this activity have to be used. So before using that, what we need three things. One is user ID, username, and next is password. So let's create three properties. So I have already created for the convenience purpose. If you see my properties there is operator ID, password, and username. Okay, so these three things I have configured in one of the case in the case life cycle. If you go to the case type and see the case life cycle, can you see in the enter your details, I have shown configure view. In that I have used operator ID, username, and password. So when I give these username and password, upon submission your operator ID should be created. So for that, what I have to do, upon submission it has to have done, right? So for that purpose I am using post processing activity. So for that I have to go for what? Flow action. So I will expand flow action here, enter your details flow action. In the actions tab I'll call that create new operator activity. So already I called it. So as create new operator is called, those parameters we have to send. So what are those parameters which we are writing here is the ones which you have written in the first step, operator ID, password, and username. So let's save this. Right. So, and for end user I should not give dev studio. What should I give then? I should give an user portal. So for that reason I created another operator, and operator name is OTB@EPFO. Yeah, this was created for end user. So I will provide this operator to the end users to create the operator. Okay, so let me log off and assume that I have sent an email to the end user saying that to log in with the default operator, that is OTB@EPFO, and my password, and I log in. So this is my end user portal. So in the end user portal, so we have to go to create. You can even customize this end user portal. So click on create operator. So once you click on create operator, so let's give one operator name here. So we'll give John@EPFO. Basically you can give your email ID. So I always prefer you to give email ID. So username, rules, submit. So once you submit, I have created one section where I will mention the user that he should saying that operator ID is successfully created, and he has to log off and log in with his credentials. So what are his credentials? John@EPFO and John. Yes. So John@EPFO rules. So now can you see that application has been created for him. Okay, so from here even if you see the operator menu, there you can see J, right? So yeah, he can create now. So now he can work on the application, or he can again create a new application based on his requirement. He can do it. If you want to customize your portal, whichever the portal which you have seen, we can even also customize that. So let's log in with my credentials. So let me log in with again Pega. So here from App Studio also we can go to channels and interfaces. So let's click on channels. So which channel we are working on? User portal. So select user portal. So in the user portal, so what are the things you do not want, you can just simply delete it. So basically this is new learnings, right? So I do not want from the new learnings, I want it from grievance, because I'm giving grievance as the my end users thing. So just go to switch application grievance. So I logged in with grievance, and now here, even from here also you can do the channels and interfaces. Yeah, click on channel. So basically one thing I missed here, so there is no need of moving to Dev Studio for switching application. You can do it from App Studio also. So how do you do that? So click on preview there. So can you see there we've got another extra column here, Pega plus home button, reports. If you see beside channels, you can see there, right? Yeah, there you can see my applications down. So when you see my application, see, can you see, now you can switch to new learnings also. Can you switch to new learnings? Yes. So you switch from App Studio, even from App Studio only you switch from one application to the other application. So click on preview again, preview. So let's go to again application. Let me switch to grievance again. Right. So now I went to grievance. From here also you can do the what do you say, chain the portal. So how do you chain? Go to application menu and you find channels and interfaces. Yes, click on this, and through this user portal is available, right? So click on user portal. So what you don't want to see here, can you see their create menu is